What up, good people? I just recorded a whole video, but like I said, I got stalkers, so I have to come over here and do it live. Do it live. Let me try and get some light in here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm going to you again and again and again and again. Hold on. Where the flashlight? All right, we're gonna see how long I can keep this like so, like this, like that. Anywho, hold on, let me see. Probably not long because I'm probably have to keep hitting this thing, but if this thing don't do one thing, it definitely does um have a good light. My fries done got cold, wasted money. Drink all my juice. Hold on, y'all. That thing was recording for 40 minutes. And then randomly said, we're not going to say. I guess it didn't like what I said. So we're just going to say it on here. You to do. After I stop munching. I drink all my little juice. Oh, dang, I'm on the phone. Hold on. I might start talking in a minute, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me see what time I start so I can put it in the caption. I just gotta stop eating starch because you eat one, it's like Pringles. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. Y'all remember that Pringles commercial? Childhood. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. Used to have fun, cute stuff for commercials. Now all the commercials sometimes be stupid. It's like that's what you came up with. Oh, okay. It wasn't. It don't be funny. It be dumb. Dumb. All their marketing switch trying to be funny and it failed. Not all of it. Some of them do have some good commercials, but I don't really watch TV, so I wouldn't know fully. Just a few I done seen. It's gone. I'm hot, so it's like, ay, ay, ay. I don't know how that even look. All right, let me hurry up because I got 20% left on my battery. All right, so what I was talking about is healing out loud, okay? I watched the clip earlier, and it was of a publicist sharing their experience about how they're being gang stalked by a person who I believe is also stalking me, because I still don't know how they had access to photos and arts and crafts that I did years ago. Okay, I still don't know how they had access to that because I didn't post it, right? I didn't post it. I didn't post it. So I don't know how they gain access to that, but anyway, they were sharing their story about how, they go to therapy, and yeah, they get online to encourage other people, but as a victim, they don't know. Uh, he was basically saying that, yeah, he might sound or look strong offline, but behind the scenes, he's broken and crying. I am currently actively being gang stalked all the time, every day. And I think when you're dealing with psychopaths, delusional people, people who don't care how they harm you, they don't care about your reputation, they just don't care about how they make you look, right? When you're dealing with people that operate in that type of wickedness or delusion, you have to be a little delusional when it comes to your healing, right? For me, I've been gang stalked now for the past few years. Okay. It began with some genius hacking into my devices, my Chromebook, my routers, all my emails, everything. It then branched off from them joining forces with a meme page maker, disrespectfully, and a dead bird showing up in front of it. It's been branched off into a whole bunch of other things, right? Now it's gotten to the point where there are strangers who will pop up around me, and because they have access to my life, well, they aid and abet these stalkers by, oh, we seen Waldo here, right? I started to call myself the neighborhood Waldo, because that's literally how my life sometimes feels. Okay, but the comment he made was he doesn't want to make it seem like behind closed doors that he doesn't have moments where he cries or he's depressed. I hate that for him. I really do. In my situation, I don't have time to be depressed. That sounds crazy as someone that is actively being gang stalked, but I don't have time to be depressed. I don't have time to be depressed. When I first started realizing just how deep and sick and twisted these individuals were, and just how much access they had to me in my life, right? I started to see my life being interwoven into movies, into TV shows, into news station conversations, just stupid, silly stuff that shouldn't even have anything to do with me, right? But it all started to have something to comment concerning me, because my life has been that open and available for people, strangers, deeply, deeply dark psychopaths, people who wear masks like they're good people because they give you advice, but they are also in the club. They are YouTube podcasters, even the crazy ones that sometimes like that ain't no way in the club. They're in the club. They're in the club. They're in the club. Some of these people you see that do stupid stuff and all their storylines is the same thing, and it's like, dang, nobody talking about nothing different. They're in the club. Surprise, surprise. They're in the club. Some of your favorite drama YouTubers, they're in the club. Don't let them fool you. They're in the club. Some of your whistleblowers are in the club. I can't make it up. Some of your favorite whistleblowers are in the club. They are. The network is that crazy. They are. When you are dealing with people who are like that, and they don't care what they do, they don't care how they have to do it in order to break you. They don't care if they have to send you an encrypted message in a video, in a movie. They're going to do it. You have to be that delusional about your healing right where you are. I watched the TV show, and the first season was actually pretty good. It was a really good show. I've talked about this TV show before. But the message after the second season, or whatever season that was, I don't know. It was actually a good show. I don't know how many seasons they had. I know it got canceled. I say that often because I think it's funny, considering what they were doing, how they changed the show. It was just really wicked how they just wrote certain stuff in there. It's like, you're in the club, they're in the club. The message of that show was they wanted to kill Eve by making her a psychopath and a killer, like the lady that was obsessed with her, the stalker. She had a stalker. Believe it or not, she had a stalker in the show. And the whole premise was they were trying to kill her by making her become like the stalker. And that's something I don't think I want to ever eat people. I don't think I ever want to do. If anyone ever comes out and says I ate people, you know who set that up. Hear me loud and clear. If anyone ever comes out and lies and said I ate people, you know who set it up. Don't ask no questions. It's been a year of exposure. How long ago? Don't ask me no crazy questions. Don't. You know who did it. They're in the club. You know who did it. But when you're dealing with people who are just really off the top like that, and they eat people, I can't say allegedly. There are people that people say they eat people that know them. I don't know them, so maybe I should say allegedly. I'm just saying there's stuff out there that says these people eat people. There are files out there that saying they eat people. You have to be just that delusional about your healing, even if you're still going through something. That lady was so obsessed with Eve in that show. She just wanted Eve to be with her. She wanted Eve to be like her. And when Eve started to become like her, she had this weird, it was this weird dynamic, but she just wanted Eve to do the crazy weird stuff that she was doing out there, just killing people just because. Killing people because they got near Eve. Killing people because they ticked her off. She was like the female version of you, the show You, Tom, or whatever buddy's name was in that show. The guy made a comment about, you know, yeah, he can get online and be strong and encourage somebody else, but in behind the scenes, he's depressed. There have been so many people that have been trying to project depression onto other people. I'm not saying he was. I'm just saying for my experience, I've never seen so many people try and force someone to be depressed. It's like they do so much darkness. It's like, oh, you have to be depressed because of that. Just because they would have been depressed. And it's not that you don't go through depression when you're being stalked or anything like that. It's that there comes a point, depending on who you are and how you are, where you refuse to live in depression. Depression will keep you stuck. It will have you just a shell of yourself because you're so deep in your mind and in your thoughts about these people. These people cannot live in your body no matter how much facial surgery they go get to have your cheeks, to have your chin, to have whatever it is that you have. No matter how many surgeries they do or how many silicone masks they put on to look like you, try to walk like you or talk like you. You are you. God made you for a reason. And if you allow the demons that live in other people to change you, who's going to be you? Can I sit here and say that the things that I have went through didn't change me? Of course they changed me. I had to be stricter about me. I have to be more observant. I have to figure out what's going to make me happy. Because if you sit there and you focus your whole time and attention on what somebody else is doing to you, knowing they're doing it because they want you to be stuck on them, they're a non-factor. They are a non-factor. They're a factor because they're bothering you, they're stalking you, they won't leave you alone, they won't grow a pair and heal for themselves. Of course they're a factor when it comes to that. They are a factor. They are a factor because they don't want to heal. They just want your energy to do it. They don't want to do the work. They want you to give them the sauce and the juice and the love and everything else and drain you. And no, no, you have to sometimes keep your cup full for you. There are so many people who I encounter because of this, because of being stalked, who intentionally go out their way to post up to say stupid stuff around. They never say it to me. To post up to say stupid stuff around me. They pop up where I'm at just to park beside me. I show that in another video on a different page probably. But they park beside me just to do stuff, trying to unnerve me, thinking it's gonna stop me from doing whatever I got my mind set on to do. They do stupid stuff all the time. These are the flunkies. These are the pawns of the network. Because the big people ain't out here doing that. It's the little guys. I'm not saying little guys can also be dangerous. What I'm saying is, if they're doing this, guess what the big pieces do on the chessboard? I talked about this before also. They're somewhere chilling in the background. They got the pawns out front coming for you. Stay on your square, on your block, and protect the queen or king. And guess who that is? You. You're the king or the queen piece. And if you don't get back to yourself, if you don't get back to your essence, if you don't get back to your power, these people that want to have you broken and mentally a mess will do it intentionally just so they can try and siphon your essence and your energy. They want your mind focused on you, focused on them. Excuse me. They want your mind not focused on you. Just like in the movie The Dark Crystal. I did a review on that movie. They wanted that girl's mind to focus on the crystal so then the crystal could drain her essence. They want you focused on what they did to you. They want you constantly replaying, oh my gosh, they did this, they did that. I'm not saying you're not a victim, especially if they're still actively stalking you and they sending all these people and squads and news stations and everything else involved to stalk you, to mock you, to do all of these things, to slander you. I'm not saying you're not a victim. And of course, we live in an interesting time where you have to look like a victim to be a victim. That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. That is bullcrap. It's bullcrap. It's bullcrap. People do not have the right to make you a victim and then say you have to look like a victim to get justice. You don't get to force someone into victimhood and then say if you don't live like a victim, you're not a victim. That's bullcrap. You have to heal right where you are. I've had a doctor write crap in my chart that we never even talked about that I had to address. Some people who are victims don't even have the luxury to go to therapy. Not because they can't afford it, because they've already experienced therapists who will switch up from the pressure of what they're going through. Everybody can't handle, sadly, the situations that victims have to endure or are enduring. So you have to make up your mind that you will heal where you stand, where you are, where you operate. You will make up your mind that you are worth healing despite whether or not you have to go to therapy, despite whether or not you have a community, despite whether or not you have anyone that you can talk to. You have to talk and encourage yourself sometimes. I'm not saying there are not people out here that won't encourage you. There are. There are some good people in this world. I still believe that even with me having to go through all of this crap, I still believe that there are good people in the world. I had a lady today randomly ask me how my day was going. Do you know how many people ask me that? How often? Hardly ever. Sincerely, they hardly ever ask me that. They're too busy mad that I walked in the room. They're too busy trying to talk junk to whoever they with, trying to get a rattle out of me. I don't even be sweating these people. I'm just in the room. And instantly their demons is chittering and chattering and making all this noise and oh my gosh, I got $20. Oh my God, this. Nobody care. Of course I know what I got. I pay attention to it. But the fact that other people are paying so deeply invested in someone else's life is kind of sickening. Your life should be so full you don't have time to hate and be worried about trying to make somebody else's life miserable, because your life should be full of so much peace, joy, and happiness that's all you got to poop out is peace, joy, and happiness. You're pooping out Skittles. The rainbow. Taste the rainbow. You should be so happy. You should be pooping Skittles. The rainbow. That was intense, but I'm so serious. People not happy like that though. They're not pooping out Skittles. They're pooping out milk duds. They're brown with envy and jealousy and unnecessary. Just ugh. They're just it's milk duds they got coming out. I said it. I did. hmm I said it. If you don't determine that you're worth healing, if you don't determine that you're gonna have to be a little bit delusional about how you're gonna get it sometimes, the psychopaths will continue to drain you. They'll continue to drain you. They'll continue to get in your head so much they'll convince you that you shouldn't even be here. And them is really the ones who don't want to be here no more. They're tired of being the pawns to these bigger demons who are just sitting in the background, telling them to jump through these hoops and convince how you doing and convince this person to break or snap this person or do this and do that. They can't get out. They're stuck. Some of them are choosing to be stuck though, but some of them are not. Some people will never learn. Some people never will. And some people eventually do. That you determine who does and doesn't have power over you. You should have power, total power and control over yourself. Total power and control over yourself. You should have. Even when the enemy is doing all he can to fight you to make sure that you don't feel like you do. You have to heal where you are. Sometimes it's going to look like you being selfish. Sometimes it's going to look like you not having the energy to give to other people. Sometimes that's going to look like just silence. Sometimes it's going to look like random crying. You don't even know why you're crying, but you got to release it just so you can get past the day and keep going. It doesn't mean you're depressed. I'm so sick of people trying to force depression onto other people. Everybody is not depressed just because you would be depressed about whatever it is that you might see them going through. Some people are just that strong, and that's I used to think being strong was a compliment. It's not when you have to be strong. Some people are forced to have strength. You shouldn't have to have strength for crazy situations like this, but some of us are forced to have strength. I'm not gonna let anybody kill the original in me that God created. That's how I thought about that show, Killing Eve, where they were trying to force Eve to become like the psychopath. You shouldn't let anybody kill the original you that God created you to be. If you were loving and childlike and giving and all of those things, continue to be those things. It doesn't matter if you have to put up set new boundaries to maintain being that way, but so do it and still be those things. Disappoint the enemy every day by you going out there with a smile on your face, with your shoulders back. You letting them know that you're not going to allow the pressure of the world to break you, to get you down. I know they say, oh, in order for you to get justice, you got to be a victim. You got to look like a victim too. Who said I have to carry victimhood around these however long this person decides to stalk me? Who said that has to be my life for me to be a true victim and need true justice? No, that's bullcrap. If ninjas are stalking you and hacking into all your stuff, trying to scare you or put fear or intimidate you by copying things you did from years ago, you are a victim of a psychopath. It doesn't matter if you look like one. It doesn't matter if you give the psychopath the satisfaction to see you down and sad and fearful. No, bump that. There's a crazy person that's doing this stuff. You're still a victim. There's someone who had their marbles tossed, trying to toss your marbles so you look like the crazy person, and they're the crazy one. No, you're a victim. They want you to fear them. Bump them. Bump them. Bump them. It doesn't matter even if you is scared. Bump them. You people don't get to decide whether or not you're a victim and you're a victim. You're a victim. It doesn't matter if you look like a victim or not. What matters is how you carry yourself, how you love yourself, how you allow yourself to heal even in the spots where they're trying to break you. That's what matters. People don't get to do stuff to harm you and then determine that you have to be this way now that I harmed you and now that I put this mark on you. Bump your mark. God can cleanse you and wipe all of those things away. Bump their mark. If it had any power, they wouldn't need so many people in the first place. Bump their mark. If you can go to therapy and that's what you want to do it. But by all means, if after therapy you still need answers and you still struggling, it's because you got to figure out what your center is. You have to get to a place where you are telling yourself, yeah, I know this happened to me. Yeah, it hurt me. Yeah, I may still be going through it. Yeah, it may seem like I don't have any way out of it. But I'm not going to stay mentally stuck in it either. I could wake up every day and be stuck. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like Genevieve or whatever that character name is. I don't want to be like the psycho. I want to be sane, happy, joyful, peaceful, still loving and kind, and firm and boundaried up when I need to be. That's who I want to be. So what if people hate me? So what if people are helping and aiding and abetting these wicked people? They're lost. And they're going to the dark light that they seem to resonate with. That don't got nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with those individuals who don't realize that they're lost. Who don't realize they're thirsting after the wrong thing. That don't got nothing to do with you. Acceptance is huge. Acceptance is huge. You can't get out. What can you do to avoid the eyes of a network that has cameras every single where, even in places you wouldn't think for them to have cameras? And then if they don't have cameras, they have people that are willing to be the eyes and ears. And if they don't have people, they got birds, literal birds, and just people birds. They got birds. They got the birds. I know my stalkers hate me, boy. I be laughing about something every day. Every day. Every day I got. Yo, this person about ran into me today. I was proud of myself because even that didn't take me off long, okay? All praises to God. Even that didn't take me off long. This is the first person that literally almost hit me. Everybody else that swerved in my lane. It's been so many people today that was just in my lane, in my space while I'm driving. Like, there's a whole lane for you. Why are you so close to me? This was the one person who almost did. They were driving a big black SUV. It was four stop signs. They had literally just got to the stop sign. They were still trying to blow it. Then the other lady that was in the other lane, she tried to be, she beeped her horn at me too. I beeped it back, ma'am. If you don't get out of this traffic drama, that's not, you ain't have nothing to do with it. She ain't had nothing to do with the drama, beeping the horn. She clearly sat there and saw that lady about to run the stop sign, and then she stopped her car. I went over because it was my turn to go, and she was still trying to pull out in front and like she was gonna hit me. And I don't even know if it was a she. It could have been a he. I get hate from both all sexes since there's people like to say there's so many. It's just two, but whatever. Oh gosh, it's just two, but you know, I get hate on both sides. So hey, all I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, you have to choose and determine when you're going to heal, even if it's in the same place that broke you. Even if it's in the same area that broke you, you have to decide that you are worth healing. Even if you have to give it to yourself. If you can't talk to nobody, because sometimes as a victim, you don't have nobody to talk to. Sometimes the people that you once thought you could talk to are now a part of that same club, and you can't talk to them either. You can't talk to them either. Sometimes the people that you think you can trust are the same people that are joining in and watching you on Facebook or wherever else they're watching you at, right? TikTok, the dark web, wherever they got access to your life, the little fan club on Facebook, whatever they doing, right? Wherever they got it set up at, sometimes they joining in. Sometimes they in the group chats running their mouth about you. You ain't even been there for them to even know nothing about you, but they watching you on wherever you leak at. You can't talk to them people. You can have all the love you want for them. You can't talk to them. You have to be able to talk to yourself. You have to be able to determine that you are worth fighting for, even if you have to do it alone. You got to heal where you're at. Even if you got to do it alone, you got to do it. The people who hurt you want you to be like them. They want you to be desolate mentally and spiritually. You got to know you're worth fighting for. And you should fight for yourself with a smile on your face just to tick off your enemies. You got to heal where you're at. So if you are dealing with depression, if you are, battling, trying to figure out, how do I get past this? Accept it. Accept that it happened. Accept that it happened. Accept that you can't take it back. Accept that you did nothing to deserve it. Accept be yourself. And being yourself is not a valid enough reason for you to be stalked, harassed, beat, whatever the case may be that have taken place to you. There was nothing you could do for a sick individual not to be sick. That is their responsibility to put in the work to heal themselves. It's their responsibility to get help. And especially if they're rich, they got all the money in the world. They should have been got help. Some Listen, it's not your place to heal people that don't want to take accountability for their own jackups. They want to keep blaming everybody else. No, you don't have to carry their weight. You don't have to carry the weight that they're trying to put on you from the damage that they did to you. You can accept that it happened, accept that you didn't like it, accept that it was wrong. You can accept that you can't get that part of your life back. You can't do that part over. You can accept that, yes, this is active and this is going on, but you can also accept that I have to still live even in the midst of all of this mess going on. A lot of people will sit there and look and judge your life and say, oh, you should have did this, you could have did this. Are you dealing with the weight of what I'm going through, or am I? You have to heal. You do have to heal. And healing is not always linear. There's ups and downs. You'll have your different moments. But eventually, you have to realize that you can't stay stuck in that loop of mentally replaying over and over what happened to you. Whether it was mother wound, father wound, whatever the wound was, a physical wound, whatever the situation was, you can't stay stuck in the loop of this happened to me. You can't. I know that's sometimes hard to hear because, you know, hopefully you got justice. Sometimes you don't. A lot of people never do. Some things are, some people do, right? Maybe you don't get it now, you get it later in another life, in another setup. At the end of the day, you have to heal for you. And if that means you healing, excuse me, is fighting for your justice, do that. But use the energy for something good. Even if the good thing that you're doing is just putting a smile on your own face every day. Even if the good thing you're doing is, maybe you're helping or praying for somebody without them knowing, like you're not telling them. What a good thing may be, uh, I don't know, you got out of the bed for 5 minutes a day if you're typically always in the bed. Whatever your good thing is, hold on to it. Accept what happened and use the good thing that you're holding on to pull you further and further out of that mental space of what happened or what is happening, and don't break. Now, the advice I'm giving is definitely for some people who are not, physically in situations where, they may need to move and behave in ways that keep them protected. I'm not necessarily talking about that. What I'm talking about when I mean you have to heal where you're broken is more so for the people who may be out of uh, range, right, of immediate danger. And when I say that, that's subjective as well because, again, I have people pop up literally exactly where I'm at and they shouldn't know where I'm at, right? So I've been doing this knowing that people do that to me, right? I've been doing that knowing people do that to me. So I can't necessarily say I'm quote unquote immediately out of danger, right? Because people know where I'm at. Regardless if they try to pretend like they don't or not. I have pop ups every day that confirm that. People doing random stuff. Like they know where I'm at. People popping up to be around me just to try to pull off my energy or different little stupid stuff. People know who I am because of this crazy situation. But I'm telling you this because of that TV show and because of the obvious tactics from my end anyway that these people are doing and utilizing. I refuse to be like them. I don't know what you need to do to find your center, but for me, I refuse to be like them. That's what they want. They put it in the TV show. That's what they want. Just because you're crazy does not mean I have to be crazy. I have to be crazy about me. It doesn't mean I have to be crazy about you. I don't even like you for the most part. It, I don't even like you. I will not conform to your wickedness just because of the wickedness you're doing, sending my way. No, I'm not. You're a non-factor. You're a factor because you're crazy and you're watching my life. But you're a non-factor in the sense that who you are will not rub on to me because you don't want to do the work to heal you, to accept the hurt that you've had to endure, the damage that you had to do. No. If you have rested and settled that you want to be dark, that's your business. And as some other person said, you know what you were getting into. I don't want to do that. And so if you are a person that's trying to figure out how do you heal after enduring or dealing with something, what is your why? That's always the thing, right? What's your why? My why is I refuse to be like them. My why has been I refuse to become like the people that are doing everything in their power to break me. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. There's no way I'm going to spend all of my day trying to go out of my way to get up under somebody's skin. I'm just not. You're not a factor in my life that much to where I'm going to spend all my day trying to figure out how I can get a reaction out of you. I don't think about you that much. I don't. I really don't. Even the people I think about a lot, I'm not going to go out of my way to do something to get a reaction out of you. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I am not. So love yourself. Don't let these suckers try to sucker you into hating yourself and being hateful like them. Remember who you were before the incident or situation took place. Be a better you, and don't let them people get the best of you. Your best years are not wrapped up in the abuse or the hurt that someone did to you. Your best years are who you become even after the hurt, even after the pain, who you show up as even after what happened to you. It doesn't mean that you don't do whatever you need to do to get justice or I'm not saying any of those things. I'm saying you cannot let the fact whether or not justice takes place stop you from healing. You can't allow that to freeze you in the I'm going to stay mad, I'm going to stay broken, I'm going to stay stuck in the memory of what happened to me. That's what I'm saying. You can't allow what happened to keep you stuck in that memory. You can't do it. It's too much more life out here outside of what took place. And you get to decide how you live your life. Other people don't have to approve of it, only you do. So just because the world says, living is looks like this, or if you're living a good life, your good life has to look like this. You get to determine what your good life is and live it to the fullest. You get to determine what your good life is. Yep, them ninjas that broke you don't get to determine what a good life is for you. They might want to. They might want to be, this is the life you get to live. They're not even living their life because they too busy worried about yours. They too busy worried about your life. It don't matter what fake drama they come up with. They too busy worried about your life. They're not even living their life to the fullest because they worried about you. They're too busy worried about you. They're not even living their life to the fullest. So don't you be miserable like the miserable people that hurt you. Be better. And it might hurt their feelings if you decide you want to be better than them. You should ask them why didn't they decide to be better than them? Why didn't they decide that they deserve better than to be miserable all day by trying to break somebody else? They had that choice and that option and they didn't choose it. That's a them problem. It's not a you problem. But that's the message. Love you later. LYL. It's hot, so I'm about to adjust so I'm not hot. Peace.